Hey guys, it's Britt. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're making Hush Puppies whole food plant-based style. Now this recipe is really a merge of two recipes that I made, Hush Puppies and also no fish sticks. So really it can be kind of a combination of the two. I think it has the texture and reminds me so much of Hush Puppies, but you can also change up the flavors. We're gonna use some dulse flakes. Typically Hush Puppies don't really have fish in them or that kind of flavor. Of course, it's whole food plant-based, so there's no fish here, but I like to combine the two. So again, it can be kind of like fish sticks or no fish sticks. It can kind of be like Hush Puppies, and it's just a great meal that we always make during the Lenten season. So I hope you guys are gonna enjoy. So you can head over to our website, which is posted down below, and all of the ingredients and everything is also written out. I post it right in the show notes for you guys, but you can head to our website and get the free printable PDF. There are grams included, really easy to have so you can print off and save it. I'm gonna show you how easy this is. So this is kind of a two-part step, and then we're also gonna make a tartar sauce that's whole food plant-based as well. So you guys are gonna wanna stick around to see that because that's towards the end. All right, so we have a food processor here, and I always get asked on this, but this is the Ascent series from Vitamix. I love it, and it's worked great. If you guys have been following me and taken any of my old cooking classes, you guys know that food processors I was like constantly breaking, and we just adore this. I have the cheapest of the Ascent series, since I know I'm gonna get some questions on that, but just get a food processor. It can be any one. We're gonna grab, you can grab a can of chickpeas, or you can go and look at our weighted grams if you're making beans on your own, but it's a 15-ounce can, and you can just drain the liquid and save it on the side because we're gonna need that in a second. But 15-ounce can of chickpeas goes into our food processor. And then with that liquid, you get around 6 tablespoons of aquafaba, which I have here. If you don't have aquafaba, you also could use something like vegetable broth would work in a pinch as well, but I like to use this. It really helps everything stick together nicely. I also have 1 cup of corn flour, and typically Hush Puppies are made with like cornmeal, so that's why I'm including this. If you don't have corn flour, we've also done this with oat flour, so 1 cup of that. There's lots of substitutions always. You can always make what you have at home work. Up next, I am gonna make this a little bit more seafood flavor. So this is dulse flakes. We love this because it's a great source of iodine. So 1/4 cup of dulse flakes. If you want this to be more like traditional Hush Puppies, you can leave this out. If you want this to be more like, you know, maybe no fish sticks and even make them in fish stick shapes, you wanna include this. So 1/4 cup. We love it. It gives a little bit, it's not overpowering, but again, we're definitely enjoying this for a replacement of fish or even, you know, deep fried Hush Puppies, obviously, that aren't whole food plant-based. So we love incorporating kind of the two combined was my idea behind this recipe. All right, up next I have a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I have a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I also have 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and I have a pinch of black pepper. So that's all the seasonings. And then last up, I have a teaspoon of white miso paste. And that's it. We're gonna blend that until it becomes nice and mixed together. It really helps the dulse flakes break down and evenly distribute. And then we're gonna bread it, and we're like halfway done. Again, our recipes are super easy. They'll impress the whole family. We love having this during Lent or whenever we really want like no fish sticks, or again, we make them in rounds to make Hush Puppies. Definitely the texture reminds me of it so much, and I can't wait for you guys to try it. But blend it until it's nice and smooth, and then we're gonna move to the next part. Once it's all together and all of the dulse flakes really are incorporated really well, we're gonna make a breading. So what I like to do for this is I have 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, and what I like to use for breadcrumbs are veggified. They're just potatoes and cauliflower for this one. This one's potatoes and carrots. So if you haven't heard of veggified, this is not sponsored. I just really enjoy using their products, I will post information down below. I've never found just, you know, two ingredients plus a seasoning of turmeric in breadcrumbs. And yeah, we just really enjoy this. So I have 1/4 cup of that. You can also just use, you know, whole wheat breadcrumbs or whatever you'd like. And then I have 1/4 cup of coarse cornmeal. And again, this is to give it that Hush Puppy flavoring. Okay, you could just use all breadcrumbs if you want. If you don't have, you know, use what you got, but I just give that a little toss. And then we're gonna flavor it. So this has 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. I like to add that. Okay, now also, if I was gonna make these into no fish sticks, what I would do is I would pulse this in maybe a little blender. Like the Vitamix has a little, kind of like for baby food, you could put that all in here and pulse it with some dulse flakes, and then that would give it some extra of that seasoning for making it more fish-like. So you could do that. This is just really nice. And the dulse in here is really subtle, so I just find that this is like the perfect combo. And then I also have a little bit of plant milk, so we can make a dredging station where I form the balls, dip them into the plant milk, and then add the breading before we bake them. So at this point, you're gonna preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and I just take a moment. I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper right here for me. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set these up. And I just take a little bit in my hands. You know, depending on how big you want to make your Hush Puppies will depend on how many you get, but they roll out really nice. Depending on how, you know, dry your chickpeas are, it might be really important to use the plant milk first and then go in. And if they're really still kind of wet, you might just be able just to, you know, skip the milk and go straight for the breading. So however you want to do it, depending on how, again, dried out if you cook them from scratch, sometimes they're a little bit drier than canned. If you notice that you don't need the milk, you know, it's up to you. So that one didn't, and I'll show you one with. We generally always dip it just to make sure they really stick well. Let the excess drip off and then coat. I find they do coat a little bit better with the milk. So this is only 1/4 cup of plant milk, really simple. Again, you can change up the shapes of these. We're doing the little rounds to make Hush Puppies. I was a fan of Long John Silver's growing up, and we used to get, my favorite would be the Hush Puppies there. And so whenever I made this recipe, these were actually for no fish sticks. I made a couple in rounds instead of in, you know, long shapes. And I just remembered, you know, it just brought me back to getting Hush Puppies at Long John Silver's. So I hope you guys will enjoy this. Again, you can change up the shape of these. You can add as much dulse to make these as seafood-like as you'd like. But really simple and easy. I love it. It's just a really mild flavor. And then I also like to serve this. I know Hush Puppies aren't traditionally served with tartar sauce, but again, it's kind of like a hybrid between Hush Puppies and fish sticks combined. So we do like to pair it with a tartar sauce, which I'm gonna share with you guys. And this is just like such a easy recipe. You can make these ahead of time and freeze them. You can get your kids involved. Just really, really simple. The batter is really nice. It forms really well. So again, you could roll it out like kind of like Play-Doh and make more fish stick shapes or just a ball like we're gonna do today. But I hope you guys will give this a try. Again, head down below. There's so many great informations in the show notes if you're not taking advantage of that. We have so much going on right now. We have a private membership where this recipe actually came out last April. So if you want to help support what we do here and help me make more recipes and start more projects, like we have a podcast coming out soon and a lot of fun stuff on the horizon, you can check that out down below. All right, so I'm gonna take a couple moments. I'm gonna roll all these out. I will see you guys before they go in. I'll show you guys what they look like. And then these bake for around 40 minutes. I generally sometimes will like to flip them halfway through just so they get browned evenly on both sides. But just a really easy and simple dinner and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this one. So I will see you guys when I'm all done, and we'll bake them, and then we'll get to the tartar sauce. Moving to the tartar sauce, so you just need a high-speed blender, and we're gonna get started really simple and easy. You need 1 cup of cooked white beans. Go ahead and add those first. All right, up next is 1/2 cup of plant milk, unsweetened. And then I have a tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of white miso paste, 1 large pitted date, and then I have a teaspoon of mustard of your choice. It could be ground mustard. And then I also have 2 pickles that I've chopped up. Now, we make our own pickles. You can do it SOS free. We also make our own sauerkraut. If you'd like to see a recipe on that, just leave me a comment down below. But around 2 large pickles, and that's it. So all we're gonna do now is we're gonna blend it up. I like to put the pickles in now just so it gets well incorporated. You also could chop them up really finely and just mix them in after everything is done. That's personal preference. And then that way it still has like some of its texture, but that is it. We're gonna refrigerate this until our Hush Puppies come out, but you have a really easy tartar sauce as well. There you guys have it, our Hush Puppies and tartar sauce. Super easy and simple. You can always dice up 1 more extra pickle and put it in if you want more texture of the pickle inside the tartar sauce, but it's just the perfect dinner, especially during the Lenten months. So much nice crunch. Long John Silver too, right? I hope you guys like this. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next Sunday for the next one. Bye guys. So good.